Hello everyone, welcome to a Cardio Curious workout. I'm Chantel and this is Dobby, my assistant today, and we have a 10-minute ab blaster for you, all down on the floor. There's 1 minute of each exercise, so it's gonna burn. Let's jump into it. We're starting first with 2 taps and a crunch. These are at tabletop position. We're doing 1 tap, 1 crunch. Tap, tap, crunch. As you crunch, think about pressing your lower back into the floor, and that is what brings the body up. Try not to strain through your head or neck. You should be able to feel underneath your hands whether or not your head is moving. Make it smaller than we think it is. It's kind of waking up the ab muscles at the moment, halfway through. Ten seconds. Tap, tap, crunch. The next one, both legs are straight up. We're coming straight down and straight up, leg raises. Just slightly lifting the hips up off the floor at the very top, making sure that the lower back is pressing down into the floor, that there's no space underneath your back and the ground. If there is, then swapping to about halfway down, or your other option is to do 1 leg at a time. Press, press, press as flat as possible with those abs. Final 15 seconds to go. Keeping the legs as heavy as possible, squeezing down with the core. The next one, we're up in tabletop. We're gonna pulse the arms. We're gonna try and hold this position for the full minute. Your aim here is to dish out through the abs, make them into the shape of a bowl, press the abs down into the ground and keep the head and neck nice and relaxed. If you need to, you can do the same position with your head flat, or you can hold your head up like so and just hold this position. If you'd like to make it harder, you can straighten out your legs here, provided that this is still pressing down flat. Final 20 seconds. Breathing normally all the way through. Woo. It's a little burny. Final 10 seconds. 5. Perfect. The next one, we're going to use the arms for a bit of momentum for our sit-ups. We're going to swing them up nice and fast, and if possible, tapping the floor at the very top. Still trying to make the abs shaped like a little bowl. Breathing out to sit up and in to stretch back and release. Again, if this is getting through the head and neck, your option is to hold and make them smaller. Really focusing on squeezing the abs here. 10 seconds. Ooh, it's burning. Up next, we have a heel tap. Feet are flat on the floor. We're going to reach up and tap towards the heels. Aim here is that we're shortening through our obliques here. We're also doing that same shape, that dish, so we should be feeling it now. Option again, if needed, to come to the head or to take a break after you do 1, 2, and down, if you're starting to feel it through your head and neck. Halfway. Really try and lift up by squeezing the abs here. Think about getting your hip bone and your bottom rib closer together. And breathing, 15 seconds. Almost there. And time. The next one, we're up onto the elbows. We're going to tuck the knees to nose, and then one leg comes out at a time. Knees to nose, one leg out at a time. Trying to slightly tuck the tailbone under so that we're targeting through those core muscles. Halfway. Keeping the shoulders pressing down so that we're nice and lifted. Final 15 seconds. Same position. We're going to do a little rainbow where we go from one corner of the mat up and around to the other. Making the legs as heavy as possible. If you're feeling it more in your legs than you are in your core, then making it smaller, using your knees with a bit of a bend. Otherwise, if you can, making it bigger is going to make it harder. Halfway. Almost there, 15 seconds. Keep the legs as heavy as you can. If it's creeping into the legs, make sure to bend those knees or let them rest for a second. Keep the abs pulling flat in towards the spine. Awesome. Our next one, lying on the back, we're tucking the knees up to the nose in that little reverse crunch. Really small here. Think about peeling the tailbone up off of the mat. Flatten down with the lower abs. Really think about the muscles we're working. Breath out to come up and in to release. Squeeze the core muscles. Halfway. Awesome. Last 5 seconds. The next one is my favorite one. We have a crab push through. We're going to be with the fingers facing forwards, feet tucked towards us, bridging up and then pushing through with the tailbone. The aim here is that you're going to tuck your tailbone up off the ground a little bit like this so that you've got room to move through your hands. If this is too much for you, then your option instead is to do it on the floor in a glute bridge like so. Keep squeezing the abs in towards your spine. Sitting the tailbone back as far as you can. 10 seconds. Time. Another advanced one. We have a reverse mountain climber with the heels on the floor. We're going to bring one knee up towards the nose. If this is too much for you, then your alternative, other way round, knee to nose here. Think about pressing the shoulders down away from the floor so that we're nice and lifted. As you bring your knee up, think about squeezing through your core. Final 15 seconds. Lovely. Last 5. And time. Well done, guys. We'll stretch it out a tiny bit with some cat-cow on hands and knees. Just gently lifting the tailbone up and the head. And crunching the tummy through and looking down. One more, head up, tailbone up. And crunching the tummy down. Wonderful. All done. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.